All right, hello everyone. It's Troy again from BBR Worms and Greens. So today is going to be a feeding and feeding on my baby, well, all of it, but also a checkup on this bin here, which is my sad little baby bin. I checked on this. I thought it was yesterday, but it's actually probably 2 days ago. And there were a lot of potworms. A lot. And I really wasn't thinking when I kind of dove in there and literally started moving everything around. I should have grabbed whatever clumps I found. So like right now, for instance, let's see. There's some. I think this is so like you can see like a pile right here. And you can also see, like a bunch in there. So really it's not super healthy, but then there's, at least one couple actual baby worms and stuff like that too. So I got a little bit kind of concerned. So then I went through my entire, so you can see some kind of right here, and they're kind of speckled everywhere now because I was stupid and moved everything around because I got pretty concerned. This was the only bin that I have had any issues with, and yeah, my other ones, like my other babies, are teeming with life and they're great. And then this one here, I kind of dug into it and couldn't really find a lot of babies, and I had used to being able to see a lot, but I can see a heck of a lot of potworms. So, for instance, I see some babies here and stuff like that, but then I see a heck of a lot of potworms all over here, right? So, and then you can see their little stupid potworm eggs everywhere. So as it is, I dried this thing out, a lot, and little buggers are just crawling on me. I don't know if you can. Let's see. Let's get that up there. Anyways, his stupid little thing is just dancing on me. Anyways, so all my other ones have, tons of babies. So there's a lot of babies in here, but there should be like thousands. And there's just significantly less in my other bins, and there's significantly more potworms in this one than the other ones. So while I can see the babies, so you have babies here, you have babies here, there's probably still a couple thousand babies in here. So here's a good example. I see potworm, 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 all these freaking potworms everywhere. And I see one little baby right there. So yeah, anyways, pretty good example of kind of what I'm talking about. So about a week and a half ago, I put a bunch of pineapples in these. I didn't think I gave them too much. Like really, I really didn't. But maybe I also gave them too much water. And I think that was probably my biggest issue. As I'm seeing this now, I don't know if this is actually able to be seen, but yeah, I can't really show you, but basically along the edges over here, I mean, I literally have to lift the thing up and then it would all fall out, so that's not really going to work for me. But you see, like, just some worms, some potworms and whatever kind of, I don't say dead on the edges, but some of them are dead and some of them are not dead. So anyway, so I've dried this thing out. It's drier than I'd like it to be, but it is what it is because I want to get this under control. I've also put in a generous helping of dolomite lime, so a couple times now, so to help dry stuff out and to buffer the pH. So again, this is not indicative of any of my other bins. This bin here is actually quite a bit drier than it had been, and it's also not teeming with life. So not super happy about it, but I mean, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to do it on the edges. I'm going to put a feeding on the edges instead of, I usually do like one kind of here and one kind of here, because I want to help it dry out after I've fed. So really the only way to do that is to do it on the edges, because when I have my newspaper and stuff down, it doesn't cover the perimeter, so it helps create a bit of a barrier and stuff like that. I'm also going to make sure that I put a generous helping of cardboard down underneath all of the food. And I don't think I'm going to give them a crazy amount of food today, but I need to give them, I definitely need to give them some, and I definitely need to hydrate this bin a little bit. So I'm going to put some worm chow down there, and no, I'll save that for the other bins. So yeah, so I have a whole bunch of different things to feed them tonight, but I have 10 bins, so they're getting what they get, and I'll come back in probably a couple weeks, or sorry, not a couple weeks, in about a week, and give them more. But I need these guys to be a bit more healthy. So anyway, so here's some strawberries there, and I think I'll give them one banana peel on this side, and that should be good on that side there. I'm just going to cover that guy up. And I will throw, so my worm chow, if you saw my last video from a few minutes ago, my worm chow has all kinds of different things, and some of the things are dolomite lime and other things for grit. So I want to make sure that there's plenty of lime in here to make sure I balance out that pH. There's also oyster shells and stuff like that. So yeah, all the stuff that helps with the pH. So anyways, yeah. I'm concerned about this bin. It's definitely substantially less active than my other bin. I'm hoping when I feed them, because I haven't fed them in about a week and a half, I'm hoping when I feed them, it'll kind of spruce them up a little bit too. And it could be that the potworms have also taken a lot of their food, which is probably the case. So I'm just kind of dripping some of the juices all over the place here. And, you know, I always think I grab enough food, but I'll be honest, I probably didn't. And it is what it is. Yeah, so another thing too, if you have things like grapes, squish them first. Freeze them first, then squish them. You know, apple pieces and whatever. I like dripping the juices on them so it gets kind of biology working everywhere. And then you can kind of squish it a little bit more. Kind of gross, I guess, but I mean, these are worms, right? So that way, if you squish it, you can expose more surface area. That's really the goal, right? You want more surface area for these worms to be able to chew on. And yeah, I have a really, really, really soggy paper towel here that has all kinds of really good juices on it. So I'm gonna do that as well, a little bit of it. So I think that's probably it for this bin. I kind of want to go crazy, but at the same time, I want to make sure these guys are more stable first. So hopefully me giving them some food will help them. Oh yeah, I have another little thing over here. Oh, what is this? All right, I'll give them one more banana peel. I really do. I'd rather give these guys a little bit more food. They really haven't had much in the past while. There's enough stuff in here. I'm definitely not worried about them not having organic matter, but all the potworms might have eaten more that I'd like. See, like you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but this little worm here, he doesn't really care to move too much. There's some other ones and stuff like that. There's probably thousands in here, but there pretty much used to be like 10,000 in here, if not more. So I'm a little disappointed about this. I normally give a bit of water. I think I'm going to give water tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to put on, after I saw the issue, because it was also pretty moist, I added a bunch more paper to kind of sop it up, and I took all the paper that was there, and like you can see, I mean, this was brand new 2 days ago. There's 7 sheets in there, and it's still damp on the top. So it's not like this bin is hurting at all. And what is? Oh, that's just all this. That's just all the stuff I just put on there. Okay. And yeah, so the other thing too, this room now, if you look at my last update video from a few minutes ago, this room is now a nursery to like, I don't know, 700 plants. I mean, again, they're not even germinated yet. So, tomatoes, cucumbers, broccoli, all that other jazz. But point of fact is that this room is always going to be humid now. So I don't really need to add a lot of moisture in this, because this room itself is going to have probably too much moisture for its own good. So just keep that in mind with what you're all doing. I normally have my baby bins a little bit wetter than this, but I need to get rid of these potworms first. So they're just going to have to kind of suffer through it a little bit. And then I'll probably come back in tomorrow, throw a little bit of water in the areas, and hope for the best. So I don't go anywhere. So that was showing you a baby bin that is not so great. Now I'm going to show you one that, at least as of yesterday, was totally fine. So let's see. I'm going to flip this guy back, and already you can immediately see the difference. There's like thousands of little buggers all over the place. There's definitely little potworm things here and here. I went through all my bins the other day and grabbed like all the big chunks that I could find, got them out of here. But like, as you can see too, this thing is sopping wet. And I even put on some new stuff a couple days ago. So I'm going to not put any more liquid in here. I'm definitely going to dry this out with some of the cardboard. And like, this is not so much a baby, but so like this, and they're all over the top of this. So yeah, I don't want to hurt any of these guys here. I'm definitely not going to throw this out. But you got to remediate this kind of thing, right? So I think I'm going to do this other bin too while you're on camera. Feel free to stay to the end or not. What you can see immediately is, so yeah, I mean, there's a heck of a lot. There's definitely some potworm stuff here, but this was like nothing compared to the other bin. And again, you can still see a couple of here or there, a couple here of regular worms. When I throw back the curtain here, though, you're gonna see like they're all over the place, and you got some big guys, you got some small guys. So the difference is monumental. That's really the best way to say it. There's tons in here, and less than the other one. And you can see it really good back-to-back kind of example too, that there was, remember before when I showed you what was on my hand? I mean, I got one potworm there, and I don't know if that was from this one or the other one. I have one potworm here, so here and here, but then I have this dude here, I have this guy here. So I mean, just as, I had like 50 potworms before and one sad little wiggler, and now I have a 2 for 2. So, that it just kind of illustrates my point. And you can feel it too when you lift these guys out. You can feel, they're kind of squishy in your hand. I mean, you're trying not to squish them, obviously, but like you can feel when when the soil gives away and it's kind of squishy and you know not to squish any further. Really, unless your hand has been in here, you might not know that feeling, but it's definitely a known feeling to someone who's shoved their hand in a worm bin. So that's pretty much it. So I just kind of want to give you that contrast. And this bin, I'm going to do basically the same thing. So you can see over here. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know if it really picks it up, but it got, worm there, worm, 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 worm. There's so many. So this is obviously what I would definitely consider a healthier worm bin than the other one. That's really just it. So that's why it was such a shock when I did the other worm bin or when I checked in on it, which totally my bad. I went like a week without checking in on it, and I feel bad for that. So, note to self, doesn't matter what gets in the way with life. It only takes 2 minutes to check on a worm bin. So that's really it. So yeah. So I'm gonna throw. Where is that here? I'm gonna throw some more worm chow down. If you didn't check out my one of my other videos from a few minutes ago, I showed how, again, I make this stuff literally. I showed all the ingredients, and you literally just mix it in a bowl by hand. I don't even bother grinding it up anymore because most of it is ground already. And I just dump it in. It gives calcium, magnesium. It buffers the pH. It has all that grit. It has all that stuff in there. So, kind of check out that video. And kind of go from there. But yeah, no, it's and use whatever's good for your garden. It'll be good for the worms because in nature, where do the worms live? They live in the freaking garden. So just kind of think about that. And this is probably one of the more disgusting things you'll ever do as a worm person. Like, this is so wrong. It's just so wrong. But you know what? This will be gone in like a day and a half, if I'm lucky. They devour this. It's absolutely ridiculous. And ooh, right. My last bin, I didn't give anything really long lasting because I want to come back in here. I want to come back in there in a couple of days, kind of thing, to take a look at some stuff. So, but this bin here, I want to give it a little bit more fast and a little bit more slow food. And that's really just because I want to make sure everything is all good. So I'm going to throw a little bit more of that to kind of dry it out a little bit. Throw these little buggers back over it. Do the same with the other side. And like, there's still a lot of food in here, right? Like there's still is banana peel, and that's a home to half a dozen worms, and probably closer to a dozen if they're all around and all over me. So again, yeah, this bin good, this bin good, the other bin no bueno. So yeah, so again, key thing, and if you don't have a paper shredder or a cardboard shredder or whatever, you definitely got to get one. And my God, I try to save these little baby worms, but every once in a while, they just don't want to relent. I literally brought up like a 10-pound bag of shreds, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, I'm going to go through most of this tonight. So it really is the reality. So make sure you have enough paper shreds. If you don't have enough paper shreds, you're doing yourself and your worms a huge disservice, to be honest. Let's see, what do I got in here? I have, oh my God. All right, so somewhat, here, I'm going to grab a little bit of wet paper towel there, and I'm literally just going to drip some juicy watermelon liquid all over it. Sounds awesome, right? Yeah. Just to kind of get some of the biology going all over the place. And a little bit of greens and some strawberries. Pretty sure, I could be wrong. Ooh. Yeah, I have like 1,000 pieces of sliced up banana. I don't know. I went kind of crazy slicing some stuff up the other day. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna give these guys some stuff. I have some watermelon in here too. Sweet Jesus, I don't know, is it watermelon or a worm? Oh, that's a strawberry. Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of like watermelon and stuff like that. So this bin's gonna get a lot of juicy things. So what do? More cardboard, because cardboard also helps with the pH. So cardboard is almost a cure-all for most things. I mean, I guess the only thing it doesn't do is um, moisten the soil. Unless it's, I guess, wet cardboard. Um, so yeah, right now I need to dry things out, especially in the center. So if you get nothing else, you should always try to cover your food. You should definitely try to cover your food. But if nothing else, get the center and get above, wherever you can with the food, and then that's kind of pretty much it. So look at that, good little worm ball. Well, not a worm ball, but a little worm colony around some type of food somewhere. And yeah, I mean, you'll be surprised also how good the cardboard works. I mean, obviously, for people that know worm stuff, you want to use the cardboard, obviously. But for any of the new people that think you just feed them food scraps or something like that, no, 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 no. No, you need to feed them. You need to feed them a lot of other stuff. Carbon, cardboard, things like that is definitely a big thing. Um, Also, toilet paper stuff, whatever, just shove it in. It doesn't go to landfill or whatever, and it'll turn into worm castings. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. I'm everyone. I'm glad to be able to do a kind of a before and after. Before was the bad bin, and then the after is the good bin. I have 8 more bins to go through, so I'm definitely not going to bring you guys along for that ride. But that was 3 videos today, and I'm good to go. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the comments. And um, other than that, I know I keep teasing about the soil sifter. Definitely coming. And that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure that I have the right option, because right now I can do one for you easily for 300 to 350 US dollars that is motorized and works really, really well. The thing is, I'm pretty sure I can get that substantially lower if I build it out of metal and get it powder coated and nice looking and a little bit lighter weight. So that way it's also much cheaper to ship and stuff like that too. So anyways, if anyone is currently in the market for something in that price range that has a good soil sifter, let me know. Throw me a message and all that stuff, and we can chat. I can show you what I'm working on and kind of go from there. Otherwise, yeah, feel free to post, comment, like, subscribe, please. Doesn't cost you anything. And I'm also going to be doing some updates on all the plants, flowers, all that good stuff as the weeks and months progress. And then I'll have some videos of the day of the sale and stuff like that. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.